All right, Corey. It's time. It's time. I've been looking forward to this since yesterday. I think we're going to, that's it. Stretch it out, my friend. Stretch it out. We are about to go Shannon and Skip on everybody
Let's
right
go.
here.
Let's do it.
Can I do my best? How does he do it? He's like, okay.
Baloney.
Okay, Mr.
Baloney.
Homicide. Mr.
Baloney.
187. All right, Corey, I'm going to let you set it up, right, for our listeners and our viewers. I'm going to let you set it up.
Right.
I'm going to let you say your piece.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to let you.
Fair enough.
This is your question. This is,
Correct.
so I'm going to let you say your piece, and then I'm going to take down your argument point by point once you're done.
Beautiful. Here's my thing. One of the greatest to ever touch this ball. That's not even a question. He's 38 years old, averaging 30 points per game, at least at last week. That's what the stat that was on screen. And it shocked me. And it further let me know that it's so easy to score in the NBA. He could never do that in the EuroLeague. So like I said, and then to f with everybody, because you know I know how to poke people. I said he couldn't score. He couldn't average 30 a game in the NBL. Here's the thing. There's not enough money in the NBL to get even quality bigs that could attempt to stop LeBron. So there's no matchup for him in the NBL. And the style of play in the NBL is the closest to NBA. So he'd average 50 or 50 in the NBL. So the next clip I put up, I specifically talked about EuroLeague, right? European game is completely different. Here's why he could not average 30 points per game in the EuroLeague. 1, 40 minutes per game. It's not 48 minutes. The ball is different. 3-second rules. The court is slightly smaller. All they're going to do, first of all, the refs, they're not, it's not geared toward the offensive player, so they're not going to cater to you in Europe, right? Do you know per possession what's the average in the NBA?
No.
Of course you don't. This is the biggest point you don't have that I do.
Okay.
90. Do you know the averages per possession in Europe? 70 to 75.
Yeah.
That's
that sounds about
15
right.
to 20 possessions less. 8 minutes less on the clock. 3 seconds in the paint. You can sit in there. The court has completely shrunk. He's never played in those situations for a long period of time. Defenses are going to be box and 1, triangle and 2. Then you got guys that are like not scared of you. You know how many talented guys are overseas that didn't make the league just for whatever reasons? They're gonna be in better positions in their respective European team that they wouldn't be in America. These guys would be bench warmers there. So he gonna have to play D on the other end too. Coaches, you're not playing the whole game. You think them coaches care about LeBron if he play in the EuroLeague for real? Need a sub. Then there's people that's just as talented. Well, not just as talented. That's a lot.
Okay,
but seriously talented on his team. Double's going to come. He going to kick it. He going to average a shitload of assists. But he ain't averaging 30. Who's the last player that averaged 30 in EuroLeague? It just don't happen. Luka went and said, like, you know how easy it is to score in the NBA? It's more difficult in EuroLeague. Giannis said the same thing. Isaiah Thomas just dropped the clip and said, it is AAU Nationals. That's what the NBA is today. So when you have the superstars, the guys that are dominating today's game, telling you how easy it is, and it's so hard in Europe, how could that man go to EuroLeague and do that? Your floor.
When I first saw your videos the other day, and I think it was the second one that you may have posted, and I commented on it and I said, you've lost your mind, right? Now, obviously, we're brothers. You know, I was just kidding with that,
I mean,
right?
that shit don't bother me.
That was directed because you had said that the NBA is not the best league in the world. So when I commented on that,
Right.
it was more directed to that than anything else, because I think you can say now that the NBA is clearly levels above any other league in the world.
Come on, there's no question.
Yeah. So that was my initial.
And they got the most dollars.
Yes, correct. And that was my initial when I first commented on your post. It was more directed to that.
Right.
Then I watched the whole video. I read the whole caption,
Correct.
all of that, and you started going on about LeBron. Now, I concede to your points about the court being smaller, about the ball, about the different, rules and all that sort of stuff. I concede all that. You are 100% correct. I do not argue any of that. And obviously being Greek.
So what do you argue then?
You said that he can't do it, right? I'm telling you right now that LeBron James can score 30 points per game in any league he chooses to play in.
Okay.
All right? There is no stopping that man.
Okay.
He will adapt to the rules.
Okay.
He will adapt to all of that. You've seen him when he plays with Team USA. They play under FIBA rules. That's fine. Okay, he hasn't done it for prolonged periods over the course of the season. If he can do it over 6-7 games in an Olympics, he'll quickly adapt and he'll play his thing. Now, because the European game is different, yes, they do not want a single player taking over and all that sort of stuff. That doesn't mean that he can't do it. If LeBron James put his mind to it, he will average 30 points per game in the EuroLeague. Now, I know there's a guy that you remember tragically passed away.
Alfonso Ford.
No,
Okay.
Drazen Petrovic. Yeah, who passed away in the early 90s. I looked up his numbers, right, because he was considered the greatest European prior to his passing. And it wasn't the EuroLeague that it is today. Obviously, I give you that as well. But he averaged 28 points per game.
Wasn't 30. And Drazen is a dead set shooter.
Yes.
LeBron is a driver.
Okay. Now, my next point to that
3
is...
walls. That's why he's going to average more assists than points.
LeBron James...
Well, not more assists than points, but a lot of assists. And that's why he won't get 30. But go ahead.
In the conference finals in 2008, 9, something like that. I can't remember now exactly, but they played the Pistons, right? It was 2000 and... Or it could have been 2007. I can't remember. It was the first year the Cavs went to the finals.
Yep.
He scored against a vaunted Detroit...
I remember that. That's when everything changed for him.
Vaunted Detroit defense. One of the best in the league. I think they might have been in the top 5 in defensive rating. 29 straight points.
I saw that.
Against one of the best defenses in the world. That defense was better than anything the EuroLeague could have put up. If he can do 29 straight points against the Detroit Pistons.
What year?
2007.
Okay, where we at right now? Where we at right now?
But look at
where we at? What year is this, fellas?
But look at the way he's playing.
I can't hear you.
2023.
Okay, and what year he said?
But look at the way he's playing.
15 years ago.
He's still putting up these numbers today. Nothing's changed.
Everything's changed.
The guy's been in his prime for 20 years straight right now.
Okay. Everything's changed. The referees, man. Referees.
The Americans that play in the EuroLeague right now, you said it before as well, they're not on the level of LeBron. No disrespect to them. They're great players, in their own right. They're not at the level of LeBron. Shane Larkin. You remember Shane Larkin?
Why do I know that name? Isn't he a cricketer or something? Shane Larkin?
Listen, unfortunately, he was the starting point guard for my New York Knicks in 2016, 20... So,
my bad.
So
shout out to Shane.
he's been playing in EuroLeague.
Okay.
Right? He scored 49 points.
Yeah.
In EuroLeague.
What'd he average?
I don't know, but he scored 49 points. If he can score 49 in one game, LeBron can score 30 every single game and average 30 points for the season.
I'm gonna tell you something real quick, right?
The best player of all time is putting up 30 points per game in EuroLeague.
I'm gonna tell you something. One day I played a game back in the day. Let's talk about like 2007, 2006. It was a rec league tournament, like A grade. You go to MSAC, think like that. And I played against the water department. This was my career high all across the board. I had 23 threes. I had 69 points from threes, and I finished with 84, right? I was going for 100. That's equivalent to Larkin dropping 49. Anybody could have one good day. You know what I mean? I never shot like that in my life ever again. That was Larkin's 49. You ain't give me no good points yet. I told you came in early. He done wrote down a bunch of shit. He was ready to go. He ain't give me one point that counted anything. All he's saying is LeBron could do it. It ain't happening, man.
Shane Larkin. The NBA's, we agree, the best league in the world, right?
You know what? Look, the NBA is the best.
Okay.
No question.
If he can average 30 points in the best league in the world, he can average 30 points in the second best, in the third best, in the fourth best, in the fifth best.
The rules are different, man. Me personally, this is, you know why I love this conversation? This conversation is no different than, well, it is different, but it's similar to who's the greatest of all time. We'll never know.
Oh, well, I know. It's
you know what I mean?
LeBron.
Okay, fair enough. You know, but what do you guys think? That's just what I want to know. Based off our points, what do you all think? That's just what I really want to know.
Look, we're going to be posting this clip on social. We're going to be, doing some polls and getting people to weigh in. But like I said, a player of LeBron's caliber, if he wanted to, can do it. Whether the coaches allow him to do it is a different story, but he can do it if he wanted to. That was my point that I was trying to get across.
Fair enough. But the wild thing is this, though, Nick. To the fans, right? There's so many people that have such a, you got fans who love him, so they're going to be against me anyway. Then you got NBA fans who have no idea what European basketball is like. You just get a little glimpse because you're watching the best players in Europe play for their national teams, Olympics, World Cup. So they don't really understand the game, majority of them. So they're jumping on, you crazy. Listen, dude, go watch EuroLeague. Watch the best team. Watch EuroLeague Final Four.
That's why I was telling people when I was in the US and when the year that Doncic was drafted, and a lot of media members were saying, can he play in the NBA? And I was like, look, he just won EuroLeague MVP, Finals MVP, and he's like 18, 19 years old. He can play in the NBA.
Facts.
He can play
it's
in
just
the NBA.
Easier.
It's a tough league to play in. It is.
You go into an easier league. The same thing they said about LaMelo Ball. Will it transition? Of course it will. It transitioned effortlessly. Josh Giddey, look what happened. And it's difficult on this side.
And that's my point, because the NBA is such a good league and LeBron is such a good player. When he goes to an easier situation, he could drop 30 with his eyes closed.
Trust me, again, the NBA is the easiest situation, and especially when the referees are protecting you.
I disagree with that.
It's sports and entertainment. Let's not forget that.
I disagree
So
with
guess
that.
what? If it's low-scoring games, who wants to watch that? Nobody.
I kind of do miss the old New York Knicks, Indiana Pacers 79-76 score lines.
Nobody this day and age.
Speaking of the Knicks, and before we finish up this segment, I do
Right.
want to give a quick shout out to Mitchell and Ness Australia. Yesterday,
The bait
collab. Yeah, they blessed me with this. Shout out to the crew of Mitchell and Ness
Shout
Australia.
out to Mitchell and Ness.
They gave me the shorts as well. So
wow.
I was going to wear the full uniform today and keep it for
That's
New
fire.
York. But
That's fire.
shout out to the crew there, man.
No doubt.
Absolutely, really appreciate it.